Nobody has any questions? Okay. Well, what we're going to be covering today is just continuing to work on our 10 movement form. We're going to loosen up. We're going to do a little bit of stretching, but most importantly, I want to work on each of the postures. And today we're going to talk a little bit about imagination. Okay. I know that sounds strange that we're doing a Tai Chi class and I'm going to talk about imagination, but there's a belief that we have, which is that imagination becomes reality. And when you think about life, everything we have, from our cars to our televisions to our homes to air conditioning units to computers to phones, everything started in someone's imagination. And it's not until we have that vision can we develop something. And so when we play Tai Chi, we use our imagination. And that imagination has to motivate us or help us to experience or create a reality that we didn't know existed. Okay. And the truth is that our energy system works and it's working every day, just like our heart, our lungs, our digestion, our elimination, our homeostasis, the systems that keep our body in balance. They go on day and night, whether we realize it or not. And the same thing is true with our energy system. If you're quiet and maybe use a stethoscope or you listen carefully inside your head, you can hear your heartbeat, right? If you're quiet and listen carefully, and maybe with a stethoscope, you can hear your lungs functioning as they bring in air and excrete it. So we can go inside our body, sometimes with our mind, sometimes with our tools. But in Tai Chi, we're going to learn to go inside our body to connect with the energy system, just like we can listen to our heartbeat, and see if we can feel it moving. And then once we can feel it, can we start to direct it? And that's when we get into the advanced stages of Tai Chi, this ability to not only tap into our energy systems, but also to help create the movement and bring them back into balance. And it's in that balance that we find good health. I always tell the story of one of my teachers using an example of a pot of soup on the stove that you bring to a simmer to let it develop. And when you turn around, you find a colony of ants climbing into the soup, carrying out all your vegetables. And so instead of grabbing a can of bug spray and spraying the ants, which could also poison the soup, by the way, you simply turn up the heat. And the ants can't climb up the side of the pot and they can't get to the soup. So by turning up the heat, you prevent the invasion. And this is the methods we use in Tai Chi, Qigong, and traditional Chinese medicine. If your energy system is at the right temperature or functioning properly, then there's no place for disease to root. So Tai Chi has two sides to it. And I've said this before.
Yeah,
We
I'm
have the
not.
martial arts side, which is the fighting side. And then we have the health side. The fighting side is called Tai Chi Chuan, and the health side is called Tai Chi Sao. They are complementary because even though we're doing Tai Chi Sao, which is the health side, we're also fighting. We're fighting disease, we're fighting stress, we're fighting anger, we're fighting all of the negative emotions in our body and in our mind. And so we'll begin with some basic exercises and warm ups, and then we'll go into the form. And we're going to start looking at these different postures that are part of the form. And then we're going to start using our imagination. So let's warm up. Warm up, we come into Wu Chi posture. Wu Chi, nothing mysterious here. This is simply called an anatomically neutral posture. In other words, nothing is holding me up but gravity. Okay? And what that means is just like your house sits down on the ground, it doesn't fall over because the weight of the house pushes against the ground. And because it pushes against the ground, the house can stand up straight. If the house tilts, then the house can eventually fall over. Okay? And so it's this alignment with gravity that we call Wu Chi. And that means our spine has to be perpendicular to the ground. And our body weight has to come down to both feet equally. And our head lifts up. So like a tree, Our legs, think of your legs as the roots of the tree reaching deep into the ground, and that your head is the top of the tree and it's growing towards the sky. So the tree grows in two directions. And so we use our imagination in Tai Chi that our legs are rooting us into the ground, but the head is growing towards the sky. And we pull the tailbone down a bit and tuck it under so that we start to straighten the spine. By lifting your head and tucking the tailbone, the spine starts to straighten and elongate. Now, it's not going to lose the natural curve, it's just that it helps take the pressure off the discs. Then we breathe diaphragmatically. Now, breathing is a process. Nature, in physics, we know nature hates a vacuum. Okay? So when you think of your vacuum at home, how does it work? A lot of people think a vacuum sucks in dirt. It actually doesn't. There's no suction per se. What a vacuum does, it has a fan that pushes the air out of the vacuum tube, which creates a low pressure. And since nature hates low pressure, air rushes in. And as it rushes into the vacuum, it pulls the dirt with it. So your vacuum does not actually suck air in. It actually is air rushing in, because you create a vacuum, and that's why it's called a vacuum. You create a vacuum in that cylinder. So there's two parts to breathing. One is the act of pushing the air out. The second is, that's an active state. That's a yang movement. We push the air out. Then we relax and extend the belly, and we create a vacuum. And the air comes in naturally. We don't have to breathe in. We don't physically breathe in. We simply relax and allow the air to come in. So inhalation is passive. Exhalation is active. Right? So we start by standing in Mu Chi. Exhale like you're blowing out candles until there's no air left. And then relax your whole body and push the stomach out. Don't do anything, and the air will automatically rush in. So let's breathe out. When there's nothing left, relax, push your belly out. And if you do nothing, the air will fill all the way up, and you'll feel it. So then we exhale again. Then relax, push the belly out. And can you feel the air come in? So when you think about breathing, exhalation is active, inhalation is passive. And that's the separating of yin and yang. One is action, one is non-action. Exhalation is action, inhalation is non-action. We allow nature to fill our lungs by creating that vacuum. So try it again. Exhale until you feel your stomach tighten. That tells you all the air is going out. Then relax the stomach and push it out and allow the air to come in. So let's try it one more time. Exhale completely. Relax and let the air come in. Okay, so practice that at home. Try doing that a couple of times a day. Do 4 or 5 breaths, morning, noon, nighttime, before bedtime. Not only does it teach you how to breathe, but it also connects you to the parasympathetic nervous system, which removes stress and allows you to relax. Okay, so let's do a brief warm-up. Why show? Shift the weight to the right leg, turn right, swing the arms, and now pushing to the left and reverse the movement. And we're going to do a count of 10. Ready? And begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's called drumming chi. Viewing the heels. Move the weight to the right leg, turn left, look down at your heel. And now we'll do a count of 10 again. Let's begin. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Before we do the next movement, pay attention to what we just did, the first two movements. We moved lightly, and then we rooted down. Then we relaxed and moved and rooted down. When we were drumming chi, we shifted the weight and rooted and finished the movement with our weight settled. Then we release it, and then we settle on the other leg. Yin and yang. Yang is strong weight on one leg and body turned. Yin is the movement itself. The completion of the movement is yang. All right, so now let's try Shanghai arm swing. We sink down. Okay, this is yang. It's strong and rooted. And then we release that and lift up, light, and breathe in, and then drop down and exhale. One more. And relax, just shake it out. So we're going to step through the movements. We're going to use these as part of our warm-up routine. The first movement, similar to Shanghai arm swing, is called small circulation of qi. Remember what we're doing. We're going to exhale and sink down. And then we fill like a balloon and reach up, stretch the arms forward till you feel your back stretch. Bend the elbows down. Exhale and sink as you sink down. That sinking down, exhaling tightens the stomach, and then we relax the stomach and breathe in and out. Remember, breathing in is just passive. And come back to Wu Qi. You feel how relaxing that is. Tai Chi style is relaxing, it's soft. Remember the four primary rules. Move slowly, move softly. Yin, we move softly because we're in a yin state. Move continuously and create that circularity. So now let's look at parting the wild horse's mane. We're going to do it in place first. So I want you to put the weight on your right leg. Bring your left foot in close touch with the ball of the foot. Move your hands into hold the ball position. Turn slightly to the right. Step forward with your left foot on an angle. Don't just step straight forward. Step out a bit. Push your weight forward. Turn your waist to the front so you're facing the front, the way your front toe is facing. And the top hand drops down. The hand comes to the heart and then turns out. Okay? The other hand came down and moved to the side. Fingers up. Then move your weight back, bring the foot in again. Hold the ball and repeat. Let's do 5 of these. 1. Step back. 2. Step back. 3. 4. And 5. Step back and change feet. 1. Step back. 2. Step back. 3. Step back. 4. One more time. And 5. How did that feel? Now, if you put the breath with that, exhale, inhale, and then exhale back. Okay? Now we do white crane spreads and swings. So remember, in white crane, we're going to put the weight on one leg, lift the opposite heel, pull the heel in, and turn with that heel turn. So as your knee turns out, because the heel is turning in, you turn with it. So your body is rotating like a revolving door. Okay, and then we shift to the other side. Okay, so this is the movement. We're just pivoting, lifting the heel, and as the knee goes out, we turn with it. We're going to hold the ball. Move your weight to your left leg, pick up your right heel, turn. As you turn, the top hand comes down, the bottom hand comes up. Just like we did before. Now, when the hand gets to here, it continues up. And what we do is we drop the elbow. So in other words, pivot on the elbow. So in parting the wild horse's mane, we come up, pivot out. In white crane, we come up higher and then bring the hand in like you're going to salute someone. Okay? So the hand is going to come up and salute. Up and salute. Okay? So the other hand goes down like before to the side, fingers pulled up. Then pivot. And just go smoothly through the movement. At the end of the movement, feel yourself rooting down on your supporting leg. So that knee bends just a little bit and your weight sinks down. So we're light, 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 lifting, then we sink. Light, 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 lift, sink. Okay, one more. And come back to Wu Chi. How did that feel? Were you able to remain relaxed and soft? Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, fourth movement is brush knee and push. So once again, bring your left foot in, touch with the ball of the foot, hold the ball, right hand over left, turn to the right of it. Step out at the diagonal, shift your weight, turn your waist, and as you turn the waist, continue turning it until you rotate all the way to the left. So you're going to rotate around, and that takes the top hand and pushes it forward. Then step back and do it again. Exhale, inhale. Come back, exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Now the hand that's on the bottom is simply coming around, palm up, and the other hand pushes. All right? Now let's do it with the other foot. Now the right foot steps out, the left hand pushes. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, and out. Breathe in, and out. Good. golden rooster stands on each leg. This is a balancing movement. And again, I want to caution you, do not do any more than you're capable of comfortably. In other words, don't move to a place where you're straining to achieve it. If all you can do is lift your heel, that's fine. So we're going to step to the side, bring this foot in and touch with the ball of the foot, lift the hand, and if you can't lift this foot off the ground, it's perfectly all right. Just make sure the heel is off the ground. And we step to the side, bring the other foot in, step to the side, bring the foot in, nice and slow. Break the movement down to the step, the shuffle, the lift. Step to the side, shuffle in, and lift. Okay, so you feel that? Again, by being slow, break the movement down into its constituent parts and pay attention to your balance. And don't lift this foot until you feel very stable, even if you lift your foot slightly off the ground. It doesn't have to come up high.
Stan?
It doesn't have to come up at all. Yes? Question? No? Okay. All right, so then we come to repulse the monkey. Now, repulse the monkey is a backward moving step. So we're going to hold the ball. In this case, let's put our left hand up, our right hand down. Turn a little to the left. Step back with your right foot. Shift your weight back. Turn the waist to the right all the way and push the left hand out over the left foot. Then step back, bring your back foot forward. Step back, shift your weight, turn the waist. Come forward. Go back, come forward. Go back, come forward. And let's reverse it. Now the left foot goes back and the right hand pushes. Come forward. Step back. Step forward. Step back. Step forward. So the waist is turning and the waist is turning. Back, turn towards the weighted leg, come forward, turn towards the weighted leg. Go back, turn towards the weighted leg, come forward, turn towards the front leg. Turn towards the back leg. Okay, that's repulse the monkey. Then we do the movement grasping the bird's tail. Ward off, roll back, press, and push. Let's put the whole thing together because they actually flow better when you do the movements as companion movements. So we're going to put our weight on the right leg, bring the left foot in like before, hold the ball, right hand over left, turning slightly to the right. Step out. Now ward off looks like parting the wild horse's mane, but the hand stops here. It doesn't flip out. And then we turn. And then both hands turn and face each other. You shift your weight back. Turn your waist as your hands drop down. And then the right hand comes in and touches the left wrist. While you're on your right leg, turn to the front, the direction of your left leg. Press forward and down a bit. Then separate the hands, and like you're swimming, bring them back and drop them down to the hips. Then go forward, and your hands go out and up to shoulder height, like you're pushing something. Okay? So I'm going to do it to the side. Weight on the right leg, right hand up, left hand down. Ward off. Turn right. Roll back. Turn left. Touch your wrist. Turn right. Press down. Come back. Go forward and push. And again, step back. Now we'll go forward. Ward off. Roll back. Press. Withdraw. Push. Step back. And repeat. Ward off. Roll back. Press. Withdraw. Push. Now let's reverse. Put the weight on the left leg. Right foot in. Left hand up, right hand down. Step forward. Ward off. Turn. Roll back. Touch your wrist. Turn. Press forward and down. Open the arms, bring them to the hips. Go forward, pushing out and up. Step back with your right foot. Ward off with the right. Roll back to the left. Press down. Withdraw. Push. Step back with your right foot. Ward off with the right. Roll back to the left. Press down. Come back. Push. Okay, that's grasping the bird's tail. Then we do cloud hands. Now, cloud hands is basically a Zwei Show exercise, just like we did before, Zwei Show. It's going to follow the same process because we're in this Wu Chi stance. But the weight's going to shift from one leg to the other, just like we do in Wu Chi, not in Wu Chi, in Zwei Show. And we're going to swing our arms as we turn. So think of drumming Chi. The only difference is the arms are going to create a pattern. Instead of just loosely swinging, they're going to do circles. Now, the feeling in this, when you come across, let this arm drop. In other words, take all of this strength out of it, and as it drops, capture that centrifugal force and let it swing up as your weight shifts to this leg. Come across, let it drop, and swing it up. Okay, so the weight of that movement, like Zwei Show, it's just the centrifugal force of your body capturing that energy as it drops and swinging it up. And the other hand does the same thing, but going the other way. And I can make that circle smaller and smaller just by wiggling my hips, okay? So Let's put the weight on the right leg. Bring your left hand up, put the right hand down. Shift. Let this hand drop and let this hand swing up. Go the other way. This hand drops, this one swings up. Now, since we're not moving fast, we actually have to lift the arm. But we use as little muscle energy as possible. Let your hand just float up as the other sinks down. So we're using the minimum amount of lifting energy to lift our hand. Okay? You see how soft and easy? This movement is called wave hands like clouds. So think about a cloud drifting across the sky. And that's how soft you want to feel. The name tells us what it should feel like. Wave hands like clouds. The short name for it is cloud hands. Okay. Then we do a movement in which we separate the feet. Now this is a balancing movement, and again, I caution you, don't try to do more than you're comfortable. There's two parts to this movement. One part is the arms are making two circles. Okay? Now, because we're beginners, and we're beginners for a long time, we don't let the circle continue. We stop it. And when we stop it, the hands are roughly shoulder height, and that's when we're comfortable enough to lift our foot and extend it and put it back down. Then the hands drop. Shift your weight, bring the arms up, open them, and stop. Once you're solidly balanced, if you can, just extend your foot. You don't have to lift it hard. You don't have to lift it at all. If you just lift your heel, you're fine. So remember, we limit ourselves by knowing how well we're balanced and how stable we are. If you feel slightly wobbly, don't do the movement. If you're a little steady and you can lift your foot, just like we do in white golden rooster stands on each leg, that's fine. But allow yourself a moment to pause before you lift your foot. And once we become advanced, then the movement doesn't stop. And so everything happens together. Okay? But for beginners, and like I said, we're all beginners for a long time, only do what's comfortable and pause here so that you can concentrate on your balance. Okay? And then the form closes with a movement called Embrace the Tiger, Return to the Mountain. That's in Wu Chi again. And embracing the tiger is just like we did with the kick. It's a circle. And this is called embracing the tiger. As we reach up, we can come up on the balls of our feet. Then we sink down into a low stance. So we come up, sink down, and let the arms cross. Then stand up, open the arms, just let them slide past each other until your palms are facing your shoulders. Then let the hands drop to the side. And that's called returning to the mountain. And those two movements work together. So we breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And that's the entire form, okay? So let's step through the form and see if we remember the sequence and think about each of the movements and try to memorize what we're doing. So the first 5 movements going forward. Small circulation of chi, parting the wild horse's mane, white crane spreads its wings, brush knee and push, golden rooster stands on each leg. Coming back, it's repulse the monkey, wave hands like clouds, separate the feet, grasping the bird's tail, ward off, roll back, press and push, and then embrace the tiger, return to the mountain. Let's try it together. Take a breath in and exhale. Small circulation of chi. Parting the wild horse's mane with the left side forward. Parting the wild horse's mane with the right side forward. Right crane spreads its wings, standing on the left leg. So bring your left foot forward, shift your weight to it, pick up the right heel, pull it in and turn to the right, and salute yourself. Shift your weight, turn, and salute. Then let this hand drop, the top hand, the right hand, bring up the left hand, turn right. Drop the left hand, lift up the right, step forward with your left foot to brush knee and push. Step in, turn your hands over so the left hand is on top. Step forward with your right foot and brush knee and push. Now your weight's on your right foot. Your right hand is up, so bring your left foot in. If you can, carefully lift it. Step to the side, shift your weight, drop your hand, bring the other foot in, raise the hand, lift the foot. Now when you put it down, don't put weight on it. Turn to the left, bring your left hand up, drop your right hand. Step back with your right foot. Repulse the monkey, left side forward. Change your hand so the right hand goes up, the left hand goes down. Step back with your left. Weight back, repulse the monkey, right side forward. Change the ball. Step back, repulse the monkey, left side forward. And one more time. Repulse the monkey, right side forward. Now move your weight forward to the right foot as you turn to the right. Bring your left hand under the right, bring your left foot forward, change your hands and begin cloud hands. Now when we finish this next rotation, we come back onto the left leg, bring your right foot in, cross your hands, turn the palms out, open them and pause. If you're comfortable, extend your right foot. Bring it back, step to the side. Shift your weight, bring your left foot in, cross your hands. Bring them up and open them, pause. Make sure you're balanced, and if you can, extend your left foot. Step down, put your weight on the left foot, turn left and drop the right hand. Pick up your right heel, step forward, to ward off with your right forearm. Turn right, roll back left. Press down, withdraw, push out and up. Step forward with your left foot, drop your left hand. Step forward with your left foot and ward off. Turn, roll back to the right. Right hand touches the left wrist. You turn, press down, withdraw, push. Now keep your hands right where they are. Shift your weight back. Slide your left foot back to Wu Chi. Reach up to embrace the tiger. Sink down. Cross your hands. Stand up, breathe in, and return to the mountain. How did you do? Okay, let's step through it again. This time I'm just going to name the form, but I'm going to try not to stop, right? Not to pause so much. So let's just come to the Wu Chi posture. Take a breath in, exhale, and sink. Small circulation of Qi. Parting the wild horse's mane, left side forward. Parting the wild horse's mane, right side forward. White crane stands on the left leg. White crane stands on the right leg. Drop the right hand, bring up the left. Bring up the right hand, drop the left. Step forward to brush knee and push. Turn the ball over, step through, brush knee and push. Golden rooster stands on the right leg. Golden rooster stands on the left leg. Put no weight on the left foot. Bring up your left hand, step back with your right foot. Repulse the monkey. 1. Repulse the monkey. 2. Repulse the monkey. 3. Repulse the monkey. 4. Shift forward and turn to begin cloud hands. Bring your foot forward and flow into cloud hands. When we come back on the left foot, set up, separate the right foot. Separate the left foot. Step onto the left. Step forward with your right to ward off with the right. Roll back left. Press. Withdraw. Push. Drop your left hand. Step forward with your left foot. Ward off with your left. Roll back right. Press down. Withdraw. Push out and up. Step back to embrace the tiger. Return to the mountain. Okay. Now, I think last week we talked about the way to begin and end the form. We have this posture of courtesy. We put our heels together, hands to the side. We join our hands in front, one hand in the other, palm and hand. Now, there's a rule that says men do it one way, women do it the other. I never understood why, so it's whatever hand you're comfortable with, put on top, okay? Then you breathe in, and your hands fold towards your chest. Then they pivot down, they go to the side, do a little bow. Then step out into Wu Chi, and we begin the form. At the end of the form, we embrace the tiger, return to the mountain, bring the heels together, bring the hands in, breathe out, bow. And that's a little courtesy, okay? That starts us off by respecting the movement, and it ends us with a respect for the movements we've just done. So let's try it, heels together. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bow. Step to the side. Establish Wu Chi. Sink down as you exhale and begin the form. Parting the wild horse's mane, left side forward. Parting the wild horse's mane, right side forward. White crane stands on the left leg. Right crane stands on the right leg. Turn. Step forward to brush knee and push. Golden rooster stands on the right leg. Golden rooster stands on the left leg. Turn left. Step back with your right. Repulse the monkey. Turning right, begin your cloud hands. Now this is one cycle. We're back to the right. This is two. And we're back to the right. And then three. And we can do this as many times as you want, just like all the other movements. But when you come back onto the left foot, bring your right foot in. Wash your hands. Separate the right foot. Bring your left foot in. Separate the left foot. Then step onto the left foot. Bring your left hand up, drop the right, step forward to ward off with your right. Roll back left. Press down. Come back. Push out and up. Drop your left hand, step forward with your left foot, ward off with the left. Roll back right. Turn, press down. Withdraw. Push out and up. Step back to Wu Chi. Embrace the tiger. Return to the mountain. Bring your heels together. Breathe in. Breathe out. And bow. How'd you do? Okay, I'm going to pause here. I'm not going to go through it another time. I'm going to take one movement, and I want you to listen to my instructions carefully. It has two parts. One part is going to be your eyes, and the other part is going to be your imagination. Okay. And I'm going to use the movement brush, knee, and push, because I think it's an easy one to understand. Now, first, I'm going to talk about the eyes. Let's do brush, knee, and push with the right hand up, left hand down, left foot in. Step forward with your left foot, push with your right hand, okay? And let's come back and let's do it one more time just to remember and familiarize ourselves with it. Brush, knee, and push. Come back. Brush, knee, and push. Okay, everybody got the movement? Remember it? Okay, now, what I want you to do is look at your top hand. Don't turn your head, just with your eyes. Look at the hand. Begin the movement and watch the hand go forward. Keep your eyes on the hand. At the end of the movement, look out. Don't look at your hand anymore, look out. And imagine you can see forever. Okay, so you're looking towards the horizon. Look at your hand, look at your hand, look at your hand, look out. Now, this has two benefits. The first is on a physical level. We're exercising the ocular muscles. I'm looking at something close, close, close. It's getting further away, and then I'm looking off to infinity. So I've got close focus, medium focus, long focus. And this exercise of the ocular muscles help maintain near-sight vision and far-sight vision. And so most of us Tai Chi players, I'm 78 years old, and I don't wear glasses. I've never seen it. I'm a senior Tai Chi player in their 70s, 80s, 90s who wore glasses. Now they may have, I just may not have seen them, okay? But what I recognize is that I've aged and I've been going to the eye doctor every year and my vision hasn't changed in years. So I believe that the eye exercises work. So when we do a Tai Chi movement, regardless of what the movement is, The eyes will follow the active hand and then look to infinity. Follow the active hand and then look to infinity. Follow the active hand and then look to infinity. Follow the active hand up, look to infinity. So that's the first benefit. The second benefit is I want to use my eyes in combination with my imagination, that what's happening is that the energy that I'm bringing into my body, in this case from the ground, and we imagine the ground to be a geyser of energy or water, maybe like Old Faithful shooting the water up in the air. Okay? So I tap into that force that's coming out of the ground, this imaginary energy. And as I move forward, I pretend that that energy is rising up like a fire hose. The water's coming from the fire pump. Right? It's coming up through my leg and it's going out through my hand. And when my eyes go to infinity, I visualize this water coming out of the palm of my hand going off to infinity. And I try to feel the force of that water coming out of my arm. Okay? And that's the imagination part. So I am pretending to feel something. I am imagining what it feels like if my arm were a fire hose and that water was rushing out my hand. Okay? And this is called projecting chi. Now, those people with advanced skills in Tai Chi can actually project their energy. I had a teacher who could literally point his finger at you and draw a circle, and you would feel like bullets hitting your chest, following the circle as he did that. Okay, I've watched teachers without touching anything put a candle here and flow their energy forward and snuff out the candle. Okay, so I've witnessed these things and it amazed me, and I've worked on this for years. I've only been doing Tai Chi now for maybe 30 years or so. I'm nowhere near there. Okay, so I don't pretend I have that skill yet, although I have watched it many times with many masters. So this is pretending that we're moving our energy and we can watch it flow. So if I'm doing white crane, this foot is connected to that force, that energy, running up the body, and this hand is shooting that energy to the sky. The energy is coming out of my back leg, and it's going into my front arm, and as my hand moves around, I feel that I'm sweeping around this fire hose that's sweeping the air. And then as I pull back, I imagine all of that draining back down. Like when the water just rushed back into the ground, and then it rushed out again, and then it dropped back into the ground. Like I'm turning the faucet off and turning it on. And I'm pretending. I'm imagining what that would feel like. Okay? So think about that. Take one movement and see if you can imagine what the feeling would be if you were in fact connected to a hose bib with a huge force of water, and that water was coming out your hand. What would the arm feel like? What would you feel it there? And would you feel it coming out the front of the hose? Feel that pressure going forward. All right, so that's the imagination we use in Tai Chi. All right, so let's do our form one more time. And maybe next week we'll practice that movement. But I'll give you an exercise. In fact, let's do that exercise now. I want you to wrap your arms around an imaginary tree. We do this at the end. Now pretend that your arms are a complete circle through the back, and between your hands there's a bridge. Okay? So it's a circle connected. These are railroad tracks. Pretend there's a train in your spine, and it's heavy. Okay? There's some weight to this train. It's like a Lionel train set. Those of you old enough to remember Lionel. And imagine that train leaving your spine and coming down your left arm. And it's pressing down on the track because it has weight. It goes over the bridge and it goes up this arm. But imagine the pressure of it because there's weight. And it goes through your back and then down this arm. So it's making a circle, right? So just imagine that the train starts and feel the weight hit your left arm. And feel it travel down the left arm. You can close your eyes if you want. It crosses the bridge, it goes up your right arm. And circles down the left, up the right. And now start to visualize that movement. Feel the train traveling down the track on the left, up the track on the right, and continuing. Make the train a point, just like an energy train. And just feel that point travel down the arm and up the other. Maybe like a rolling ball. Now accelerate that. Make it go faster. And make it go faster. Feel it. Feel what it feels like. Imagine what it feels like and try to feel it. Circling down the left, up the right. It has weight. It has energy. You can feel it. And then slow it down. And slow it down. And slow it down. And then bring it to a stop. And relax. Shake your hands out. I don't know, we don't have, most of you don't have your audio on, but was anybody able to feel that movement as if there was something rolling down and up, and it had some weight and had some force? Did anybody feel that?
Yes.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Good. This is when we use our imagination to feel something, but if we can imagine it, then we'll start to actually feel it. Because it is actually moving, okay? It's not that we're creating something, we're starting to listen to it and be observant of it. And once you can feel it, then you can start to direct it. I've had teachers, and Tai Chi July teachers, who can slow their heartbeat down to 2 or 3 beats per minute. The average person heartbeat is somewhere up around 12 to 15 beats per minute. A healthy, good, physically conditioned person may be down to about 10 to 8, maybe 6 beats per minute. But I've seen instructors who take their heart rate all the way down to a beat, 2 beats, 3 beats a minute. So they actually control how often their heart beats. They can control their breath so that an inhalation takes 30 seconds and they exhale for 30 seconds. All right, most of us breathe much faster than that, okay? So this idea of taking control of the body's functions with your mind is part of what we try to do in advanced Tai Chi. Can I lower my blood pressure? Right? Can I control my breathing? And all of that brings a sense of calmness to the body by tapping into the parasympathetic nervous system. So let's end by doing our form one more time.
Jim, one question.
Yes.
When we did that exercise, I felt like I wanted to switch the train and have it go the opposite way.
Why not?
Can you do that?
Of course. It's your train.
That's true, like have it back up or what?
It's your train, you can drive it anywhere you want, but it's got to stay on the tracks. Yeah. You can switch it back and forth if you want. You can accelerate it, you can slow it down. What you're trying to do is control it with your mind. And if you can control it with your mind by changing the directions or changing the speed, that's just giving you more and more control over the flow of energy in your body.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do our form. Heels together. Breathe in, out, bow, begin. Small circulation of chi, parting the wild horse's mane, left side. Parting wild horse's mane, right side. White crane stands on the left leg. White crane stands on the right leg. Transition, brush knee and push. Golden rooster. Turn left, step back right, repulse the monkey. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wave hands like clouds. 1, 2, 3. Separate the right foot. Separate the left foot. Step onto the left. Water off with the right. Roll back left. Press. Withdraw. Push. Water off with the left. Roll back right. Press. Push. Embrace the tiger. Return to the mountain. Heels together. Breathe in. Breathe out. And bow. And thank you for being here. I hope you got something out of this lesson. I look forward to getting together again next week with you. Are there any questions as we end? We got about a minute left.
Is there any rule of thumb when you're using the right leg and which arm to use?
Yes.
Is there a rule of thumb?
Yes, there's always a rule of thumb.
Okay.
The rule of thumb is it depends on what posture you're doing.
Oh, okay.
Okay? If you're
Yes.
doing parting the wild horse's mane, whatever foot is forward, that's the active hand. So it's called a same side movement. So if the
Okay.
right foot is forward, the right hand is the active hand. If I'm doing brush knee and push, that's a cross body movement. So if my right foot is forward, my left hand is pushing. All right? So
Yeah.
each posture has a different rule.
Different.
What
Yeah.
What leg has the weight and what hand is doing the movement?
Okay.
Okay, white
Thank
hand
you.
spreads its wings. When your weight is on the right leg, the right hand is up. It's the same side. Left leg, left hand. Repulse the monkey, the weight's on the back leg, but it's the empty leg hand that's pushing, okay? So the weight is on the back leg and the hand that's pushing is over the empty leg. So that's a cross body movement. Water off.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
the weight and hand sequence is dependent on the movement being done.
I see. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anything else? If not, I want to thank you all for being here, and we get together again next week.
Thanks, Jim.
Great week.
Thanks, you too. Have a great time. Enjoy the week. Stay safe, everybody.
Absolutely.